Okay, folks, do you know who this guy is right here? He's a famous writer and director. He's the guy who made the movie They Live. And, you know, if you've been in the truth community a while, you'd know what this movie is. So I don't really have to get into what the movie's about. Anyway, that's who this writer and director is, of the movie They Live. He's done a bunch of movies. He's done Escape from New York, Halloween, Escape from LA, and some, a bunch of other movies. But what is the chance that this guy has Elvis connections? So John Carpenter, the guy who made the They Live movie, uh, he made a movie called Elvis. You see that? And he was the first one to really make a movie about Elvis. It was like 3 hours long or something. And look, it was released on 2/11, which is Washington's original birthday. Now, I mean, they went to celebrate it on 2/22 later, but it was 2/11 originally. And it starred Kurt Russell. And I told you Kurt Russell played in the Elvis movie, It Happened at the World's Fair. Kurt Russell was a 5-year-old or whatever, 7-year-old boy. I don't know what he was, but he was a young child in the movie. And he kicks Elvis in the shins, in the knee. Anyway, this was the first, Elvis is the first famous person that had anything to do with the Seattle Space Needle. He made a movie, like I said, called It Happened at the World's Fair. And look, his name is knocking down the Space Needle. And look what it says up here. Elvis swinging higher than the Space Needle. This John Carpenter, he makes, all kinds of horror movies. Like I told you, he did Halloween, The Thing, whatever. My point is, what's he doing making an Elvis movie? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense, right? Unless you see what it's about. Look, he makes a movie called Prince of Darkness. Everything, that's why it's about Elvis, because Elvis, is the face of Satan. And in that movie, Prince of Darkness, look, it's this dude, Donald. His name is Donald Pleasance. And his character, not in this movie, but in a different movie, was based on, the Dr. Evil is based on one of his characters, that Donald Pleasance, of a guy named Ernest Stavro from a James Bond movies. Anyway, and I told you how this Dr. Evil, because in one of the, Austin Powers movies, Dr. Evil's headquarters was in the Space Needle. And Evils, with the S, is the word Elvis. It's an anagram for Elvis, okay? And again, it's about the Space Needle. As I told you, Elvis is somehow going to manifest on June 11th, 6/11, in Seattle after a spectacular event. And the reason John Carpenter was chosen to do that Elvis movie is because of his birth date. See, it's 1/16, which is the 6/11 backwards, 6/1/1, January being the first month. See, that's why. It's the backwards 6/11. And look, he's got the 8/4 also, backwards. If you know my videos, you know what I'm talking about. And look, he turned 74. He turned 74 this year. And like I said, he's the Prince of Darkness, And JC is the initials Jesus Christ, you see? And Christ was a carpenter. Do you understand how they mock? And Elvis, he did a movie called Change of Habit in 1969 with Mary Tyler Moore. The MTM. I told you that he loves that MTTM if you know my videos. But look, Elvis Presley in this movie, you know what his name was? Look at this. Dr. John Carpenter. I mean, can you believe this, man? Talk about absolute mockery, man. Anyway, the whole point why I'm showing you this, why is John Carpenter, a horror movie guy, making an Elvis movie? All right? I just told you the reason. Because of his name and the date he was born, this Carpenter. Sorry to scare you. But you know, this guy is the one I was telling you about, that Donald Pleasance dude. This is the James Bond movie character. And I told you Dr. Evil is based on this guy. Dr. Evils. And look, his scar looks like the Space Needle. See the needle up here, and this is the circular part. You see? I mean, these are not coincidences. You understand? And that's why Michael Myers is playing Dr. Evil's. Why Dr. Evil's headquarters was in the Space Needle. Because Evils is an anagram for Elvis. I told you, it's all about Elvis in Seattle and the needle. And that's why Elvis took an injection on live television. He was the first one to take a vaccine shot on television. Elvis, the first famous person. And he did it on October 28th, 1956. And October 28th is Bill Gates' birthday. Bill Gates was 1 year old when Elvis did that. And and Bill Gates was born in Seattle. You see? Everything is about Seattle and the needle. And you know that Madonna has connections to Elvis. See, look what her brother-in-law says about her. Madonna felt the spirit of Elvis pass through her when he died. Look at the headline. Madonna says Elvis Presley possessed her. And one of her Instagram posts says, without Elvis, you're nothing. And you know Elvis, he died on August 16th, 1977. And Madonna turned 19 years old that day. And that's the day that, her brother-in-law was saying that Elvis possessed her on the day Elvis died, August 16th, same birthday. Her birthday is his death day, and she was 19 years old. And of course, she has the Dawn in her name, because Donald Trump is his devil twin, Elvis's devil twin. And remember when Jim Carrey, he played Elvis on Saturday Night Live? You see that? And look at the mockery. Look at the way he's dressed. I guess this was like during Halloween or something. I'm not sure, but look at the horns coming out of his head. And Jim Carrey, in his stand-up routines from when he was younger, he even did impressions of Elvis. Just like this comedian. His name is Andy Kaufman. Get it? Kaufman. And he supposedly died, but there's rumors that he didn't die, just like Elvis. You understand what I'm saying? And guess who made a movie about this guy? Who starred in a movie playing this guy? A movie called Man on the Moon, starring Jim Carrey, was based on Andy Kaufman. And remember, they're both Elvis impersonators, and he's playing him in a movie. It's just ridiculous. And here's another great coincidence. Jim Carrey was born January 17th. And Andy Kaufman was born on January 17th. And what's so important about January 17th? It is the backwards birthday of December 14th. December 14th is the backwards of January 17th. And December 14th is the day Washington died, George Washington. That's why it's so important. Also, Jim Carrey made some short film called Pecan Pie, the PP. And Jim Carrey is also the JC initials, just like John Carpenter. Okay? And the reason I'm bringing this up, this Pecan Pie, the PP, Because when he went on Saturday Night Live as Elvis, this Jim Carrey, he sang Pecan Pie, which is the PP. And I told you what the PP is. It's the 1616, the letters. Okay, and I'll show you that in a moment why it's so important. But look at the time on this, 3:26. You know that March 26th is the day this Seattle Kingdom was destroyed. Anyway, the 1616, the P is the 16th letter, it's the PP. I told you that if you go from Elvis's birthday, January 8th, and you go forward 1616 days, it lands on June 11th, the day that Elvis returns. I told you, June 11th. It's the PP, 1616. It's the PP, get it? And even the singer from the Police, you know, this Sting, whatever, he had an Elvis song called Code Word Elvis. And look at the lyrics. It says, but my hero is Elvis. He's really my God. Look at that. Do you like my hero? Do you like rock and roll? That was the words to that Code Word Elvis by Sting, by Police or whatever. And I'm not even going to get into Tom Hanks because I've done many videos about his connections. So you can watch my other videos for that. Because everything about Tom Hanks is connected to Elvis. And that's why his new movie that's going to come out in June is about Elvis. And you know who these three clowns are? They're called the Beastie Boys. Look, it's the BB. 22. Anyway, the Beastie Boys even have a connection to Elvis. And this is the album that made them famous. It's called License to Ill. And ILL equals 33. Just simple, math. Arithmetic, whatever, gematria. I is the 9th letter, L is the 12th letter, and L is the 12th letter. Equals 33. Anyway, the reason I'm showing this is because, see, they have a plane on the cover. It says 3 MTA3. But anyway, that's not why I'm showing that. But it's the cover has a plane on it, right? Because Elvis had his own plane. And look at the number on it. 777. You see that? The jackpot. And then EP is for Elvis Presley. And look, everything Elvis did had this insignia or this logo with a lightning bolt that looks like threes. Okay? 3 forward, 3 backward, whatever you want to see. But really, see, they say it stands for taking care of business. But really, what it stands for is, see how the C is on top of the T and the B? Because it's really 3, the C is the 3rd letter, T is the 20th letter, and B is the 2nd letter. It's 322, 322. You know the Skull and Bones, the 322? Elvis is the head of Skull and Bones. I told you that. That's why I said everything Elvis, had, his jewelry, everything had TCB on it. You see what I'm saying? This was one of his rings. Look how it's got 1, 2, 3, like a lightning bolt. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. Then you have the C on the top, you see? With a crown on the top. C is the 3rd letter. 3, 20. T is the 20th letter. And B is the 2nd letter. 322. And I've shown you how important the 322 is in my videos. And even the TCB, what I just showed you, connects to the Beastie Boys. Watch. So supposedly when they went on tour, the Beastie Boys back, when they first started, when they first became famous, they were on the bus. They bought a bus. And look what's on the side of the bus. You can barely see. There's a T right here. There's a C. and there's a B on the side of their bus. So I'm going to play a little clip of what one of the Beastie Boys is saying, but I'm not going to play the volume, but you can read what he's saying in the subtitles or whatever, the closed caption. It says, "Hi, I'm Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys, and I'd like to invite all of you into this bus. We're on tour with the Run DMC and Houdini." Hold on. It was going way too fast. Ah, darn it. I ruined the surprise. Anyway, he's saying the bus, he says, what better bus to get than Elvis Presley's bus? You see? They bought Elvis Presley's TCB bus. And why is that important? Because they have the beast in their name. Because Elvis is the beast. You understand that? He's the beast out of the sea. He's the phoenix rising out of the sea in Seattle. And what was the biggest sensation to come out after Elvis? Right after Elvis came the Beatles. And Beatles is an anagram for E-L, beast. E-L means God in Hebrew, you understand? El, beast. And Elvis starts with E-L. That's why the Beatles became famous. Because of connection to Elvis. Well, obviously they were good musicians or whatever the heck. Songwriters too. And do you remember this guy? Anthony Perkins, who played in the movie Psycho. And he worked at a motel or whatever. His name was Norman Bates in the movie Psycho. And you see, he worked at Bates Motel because that was his name, right? Norman Bates. And what is the anagram for Bates? It's B-E-B-E-A-S-T, the word beast. Okay? And why am I showing this? Because, see, the beast is what's important. And look, it's got the E-L in motel. And besides that, look, it's got the word Tom backwards. And you know who Tom was? That was Elvis's manager, Colonel Tom Parker. It's got the E-L, the word beast and Bates, and Tom. And by the way, the word motel or El Tom equals the same as the word seven, S-E-V-E-N. So it's the seven beast or beast seven. Anyway, the reason I'm showing you this because he's got the connection to the beast, right? Let's see Anthony Perkins, what he named his kids. Oh, before I show you the name of his children, look at his birth date, 4-4. That's the kill number, and that's the day that Martin Luther King was killed, April 4th. And remember I told you Martin Luther King was killed in Memphis, Tennessee, where Elvis lived. Okay, so the king was killed where the king lived, in Memphis, Tennessee. Anyway, so he was born on 4-4, the kill number. Look at this. His initials are AP 116, the 611 backwards. You understand? Now let's look at his children, what he named them. Look at this, will you? First of all, he named one of his children Oz, because I told you that Elvis and Trump are the Wizards of Oz, you know? And look at this. His other child is named Elvis. I mean, can you believe this, man? You have Elvis and Oz. And you know the Wizard of Oz is about the Emerald City, right? And Emerald City is named after Seattle. I mean, Seattle's named after Emerald City. Whatever the hell that's what it's called. Oh, and interestingly enough, he died one day after September 11th. Look at that, September 12th. Let's see when his wife died. She died on September 11th, 2001. She was in one of the planes. And look at the name. First of all, it's the BB again, the 22. Because I told you, this is the year. Look at that. Berenson. I told you my throat is messed up, folks. That's why I'm not doing any videos lately. Or live streams. I'm having severe throat problems, folks. Anyway, so she died on 9/11, 2001. She was in one of the planes or the building, whatever. I don't know. Oh, wow. I almost forgot the most important part of this Beastie Boys thing. Besides them having the Beast in their name, and besides them buying Elvis's bus, you know, look what else they have in common. They even collaborated with Elvis Costello, another stupid singer. And I told you Elvis is going to be the mark of the beast. And look at this. Mark on the bus. I mean, can you believe this? Do you understand how ridiculous that is? Because they bought Elvis's bus and it says Mark on the bus. You see that? Mark of the Beast. MOTB. Do you understand how ridiculous this is? This is by the Beastie Boys. And I told you they collaborated with Elvis Costello. You can't see it, but it says Elvis Costello right there. And he sang a song. Oh, there it is right there. Elvis Costello sang a song called Needle Time. Can you believe this? Because I told you Elvis and the Space Needle. You understand? And you know the only Armenian rock band that anybody, in mainstream, popular culture that knows this band is System of the Down. And they're Armenian, right? And I'm Armenian. And they have a song called Needles. I mean, can you believe this, man? Out of all the, out of all the bands, they have to have a song called Needles. And they're the only Armenian rock band. And I told you that, I love rock and roll and I'm Armenian, you know what I mean? But the fact that this Beastie Boys band got Elvis Presley's bus, on their tour and used it. I don't know if they bought it and sold it, whatever the hell they did with it. And then they write a song called Mark on the Bus. And they got the word Beast in their name, Elvis, and it's got the initials of Mark of the Beast. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up, man. It's impossible for all this to be coincidences. And remember, I showed you that both Zombieland movies, 1 and 2, had to do with Elvis and all kinds of connections. There was a needle connection. There was twin connection. There was an Ohio connection. Like I said, watch my video on it. But here's the last but not least, and everyone's seen this on my channel, a bunch of times. There was a show called The Masked Singer, and they had this character right here called Serpent. It was called Serpent, and it looks like not an octopus, whatever this. It's like a kraken. That's what I meant to say. It's got like snake skin. It's got like tentacles. It's got the serpent face. Look, it's got phoenix bird feathers. I mean, it's a mixture of everything. Like I said, a beast out of the sea, this serpent. And it was on the show Masked Singer. And remember how I showed you that the word serpent, it equals the exact same as double O Elvis. Because, the O's are crowns, And that's why Elvis, needed Trump to take that other part. Anyway, there's a bunch of words I could show you that equal serpent that are significant, but I'm not going to get into it here. Oh, but I have to show this one. So remember, I told you serpent equals the same as double O Elvis, and it also equals O portal. It's the O portal. Serpent equals the exact same. Anyway, back to the serpent on the Masked Singer. So the panel that's on the show, the judges, they have to guess who's under the mask, right? Let's see who they guessed. So one of the judges, Jenny McCarthy, she guessed, who was under the mask. She guessed it was either Usher, the singer, and by the way, when you usher something in, like ushering the Antichrist, get it? But anyway, she guessed it was either Usher or or this guy, uh, Okariet Onadawawan, whatever. And at the time, he was 33 years old. And look, he was born on August 16th. That's the day Elvis died. This is the guy who played on Station 19. See, that's the guy. And she said Oak for short because his name was Oka, whatever. And he's from the show. He was, I guess they found him on Hamilton, on a play called Hamilton. Anyway, like I said, that Oak guy, he was born on August 16th. He was born on August 16th, the same day Elvis died. Same date, August 16th. And by the way, this Oak guy, he was the only fireman to die on that show. On that Station 19. I told you Station 19 has to do with Seattle. That show. He was the only one to die. Or the first one to die. They also said John Legend was one of their guesses under that serpent outfit. And the word legend, and then you have John, like Donald John Trump. And Elvis was a legend, you understand? And look at this. This guy guessed, I forgot this singer's name. Oh, Alan Thicke's son. I can't remember I don't remember what his name is now. Anyway, he guessed Donald Faye's son. Donald, you see? What's the chance that they're going to name a guy named Donald? Because I told you Trump and Elvis are the devil twins, right? And they named Donald as one of the guesses. That's this dude, Donald. And I think she was actually guessing that too. This is one of the judges again. She was guessing Donald also. He's from that show Scrubs. And look, he was another person that they guessed might have been under the serpent. And look, he's 45 years old because I told you Trump is the 45th president. And look, he played in the play Hamilton. And he played George Washington, you see? Seattle's in Washington. The guy's name was Jackson. Here's a different guy. And the reason I'm showing you all this, for the people who know my videos, you know why I'm showing it. But the guy who was under the serpent mask was this dude. He's just some stupid singer they made famous off of YouTube or off of TV news or whatever the hell. He's a nobody. His name is Dr. Elvis, just like that Dr. Evils. Remember I was showing you? His name is Dr. Elvis Francois. He was the serpent. The singing surgeon, they called him. See that? SS. Anyway, he was under the serpent outfit. This was the exact moment he took off his mask. See, he's got the feathers. And he still has his, costume on. Dr. Elvis. So remember I showed you how serpent by itself, just the word serpent by itself, had connections to Elvis and the portal. I mean, portal. But look, if you put the serpent, look what it equals, right? The serpent equals the exact same as Washington. Washington equals the exact same as the serpent, which will also equal the O Elvis or the O portal. You understand? Anyway, like I said, everything connects. Just ask yourself, what is the chance that the serpent is going to be Elvis when I've been telling you that he's the beast out of the sea? And I was saying this way before this show came out. Okay? And look, it's like a kraken. It's a beast. Because Elvis is the beast out of the sea in Seattle.
It's just the beast in me.
End of video.